reasonable decision, given that he's up 4 points. I can.
Do you think if he were only up 2 points, he would have made that draw?
No, I think this has a lot to do with the fact that he's got a big lead.
And he's just going to make the draw here? Oh my gosh, this is...
No, he doesn't.
I thought he was going to make the Wesley So draw of takes, queen takes, Wesley
Hikaru draw.
They just do this nonstop in all these online and even over the board.
I've made this draw against Wesley, so I'm partially guilty here.
Well, I was going to forgive you of your sins and just, mention.
I mean, I don't think anybody really blamed me for making a draw against Wesley in a Berlin. It's not like it's not like I would have had too many winning chances in the end game.
A6?
Oh yeah, this is not something that Black generally wants to allow.
No, because A7 could fall, and White just controls the dark squares. We've talked about this a number of times. Say 2 bishops advantage, but if your bishops have B7 and then the knight just gets into C5 or D4, that's not a very good bishop.
This is terrible. Played a very interesting line in this game. It's been around for years. It's sort of an old school line. This move Queen D3, and like you said, you're going for the dark square clamp, which Wesley has not done a very good job of neutralizing here. As A takes B7 can be played at any moment, and the knight heading for B3, you're going to get dominated here on those dark squares. Black is in grave danger here. He's already much worse. And S6 is a good move, trying to do whatever he can here to mix things up. But Bishop C5 even here looks great.
Bishop C5 is a great move. You don't have to take on F6. Since the E7 bishop is hanging, and he goes knight A5, going for the C6.
Also looks great, just going for material. Why
and you can't go rook A to B8 because bishop takes A7, kicks the rook away from the bishop's defense.
Queen D7, I guess. But then E6, bishop C5, and White has just complete domination.
Oh, this is really bad.
This is a complete disaster on both sides of the Berlin. By the way, Wesley lost the game with the White side, and now he's getting destroyed on the Black side.
You can just take on F6 and play bishop D4.
Right, and H4 pawn is going to be weak in the end as well. Like, there's just no trade or transformation of the position that's good for Black. It's pretty depressing.
Right. No, I'm totally with you here. F takes E5 is not even a threat. So he allows C5. He must have.
I guess he takes F6
or knight B7 or something. Yeah, he's got some options there.
He's got some tactics there. Yeah, he takes F6, GF6, and there's like bishop takes C5 maybe. I don't know.
So he plays it. I mean, you kind of have to. And he just immediately takes an F6. So if C takes D4, queen trade, and then pawn takes E7, you get your piece back with some interest.
Oh, yeah, GF6. I guess you have to play GF.
And then even bishop E3, because you don't have D4, because queen B3 is check, and the bishop is under attack. So if nothing else, rook E1 might be good here.
Yeah, rook E1 is a great move. Then I guess rook F7.
And then
bishop takes C5. I'm trying to calculate. And bishop takes C5, knight takes B7. Maybe it's too concrete, or maybe it's not worth trading in your positional advantage for this kind of speculative tactic. But I think he's calculating it.
Definitely, he should. What other moves are available? So rook E1, bishop takes C5. Both are options here. He plays rook E1.
Rook E1 played. I guess rook F7.
I'm looking at rook takes D7 after rook F7. I love to sacrifice the exchange, not my pieces, that whole thing. But it's just trying to rip open Black's king.
It's funny. I was at a chess camp with Gregory Kaidan. Wow, we're going to get this transformation. I was at a chess camp with Gregory Kaidan of the U.S. Chess School many, many years ago. And he liked assigning unconventional homework to the students in preparation for the next meeting, which would be like 6 months later. And my homework was to sacrifice my exchange at least once. And that was like 1900. So I literally had a homework assignment to sacrifice an exchange in one of my classical games. And I did. I had a typical rook takes C3 stack in the Najdorf. And I was so happy to show that game at the camp.
So be honest with us for a second. You just mentioned the successful exchange sacrifice. How many failed exchange sacrifices did you try because of Grandmaster Kaidan?
Plenty. Exchange sacrifices are among the easiest to overestimate, I think.
I agree.
And that's because we're often taught that, Petrosian, Karpov, they're known for their exchange sacks. It's so easy to think, I have all this compensation. The rook is a pretty dangerous piece and no exchange sacrifice needed there. Robert, that was a wire-to-wire victory. Wesley didn't have a sliver of a chance there.
Was that an early resignation, in your opinion, though?
No, I think that was just total domination, though. I mean, all the pawns were falling. I mean, maybe if the match was tied maybe there's a little bit of tilt involved in that resignation, but nah, I don't think that was too premature.
Okay, well, Jeffrey Xiong keeps
Whatever.
up his amazing form. So what I need to know what Jeffrey's been doing, because whatever it is has allowed him to take a 5-game lead against Wesley. Has anybody had a 5-game lead? I guess Hikaru probably has beaten Wesley by more than 5 points. But besides Hikaru, I doubt Wesley's ever faced a deficit nearly this much.
No, and especially, one would understand if this was a match against Hikaru and in the bullet, he pulled away with it. But they're not even in the bullet. They're in the blitz portion, and they're in the portion that Wesley is known for absolutely crushing. And Jeffrey is showing no signs of slowing down. Another French. We saw a French in game 1. And this is one of those win hour structures where generally black attacks on the queen side and white on the king side, but roles could also reverse easily here.
I think Wesley needs one victory. He hasn't won since game 4. So that taste of victory is what he needs. And this is the exact type of game where you can just completely crush your opponent. Right? Queen G4 coming.
Right. Queen G4.
All sorts of attack. Queen G4, you have to go King F8, which is a typical French move anyway. Rook G8 doesn't work because of Bishop H7, kicking the rook away. So I think King F8 is forced.
Yeah, and then maybe take C4 and go Bishop A3. And I think you're absolutely right. It's what you have to do is the basketball equivalent of kind of hitting a free throw, right? Wesley's a shooter for whom none of his shots are anywhere close to falling. And when you hit that one shot, you get that one confident wire-to-wire win. That does wonders for your confidence level. And I don't want to harp too much on the body language, but you can just almost sense the frustration through the camera here. And you seem surprised at what's going on.
I mean, G5 and all this, and this looks...
Whoa, another pawn can fall here on G6. And then queen takes F5?
You know me. I don't recommend the French defense to anybody, but
no,
this is what happens when you play the French against Wesley. So sometimes.
I'm not going to defend it. I'm not going to defend it.
Oh my gosh, look at this move. Bishop D5, Queen G6, Queen F7, D7 check.
Oh, that's filthy.
Your king, if you take, you lose the queen. If you don't take, then I'm going to take your rook and win a free rook.
And a little overly opportunistic here by Jeffrey. It's not over quite yet. And here comes the C pawn. D5 is going to come. There goes Wesley.
Bishop F4 is also something to consider.
D5 and Bishop A3 as well.
Oh, that's even better for sure. I was looking the other direction. Didn't think of Bishop A3.
Well, no, Bishop F4 is perfectly good enough as well.
But Bishop A3. He starts with that and then D5.
D5 resigns after D5.
Game over. I mean, that was just
not a great game for Jeffrey there.
That's you being very nice. That was
right. I'm being
an extremely bad game for Jeffrey.
And he played quickly too. He ends the game with a hair under 2 minutes. And I think he just got a little over optimistic. He's going to keep playing and milk the clock, which is totally valid.
Yes. And actually, that's a sign of respect, not disrespect. He has so much respect for Wesley's ability to just win games in both the 3 and the 1 minute that he's like, I have a big lead. I want to maintain this lead for as long as possible and give Wesley no time or little time remaining if he's going to catch up.
Yeah, and this next game is going to be very important. If Wesley can string together his first 2-game win streak, that, like I said, is going to do wonders for his confidence. So I think a lot is hanging in the balance as Jeffrey's going to have the white pieces. He needs to be careful not to let his lead start to slip away.
Yeah, he's mopping up here.
Right, just mowing down those pawns.
Take them all
one after the other. And I would it's entirely possible that Jeffrey's just going to sit and take a little breather. Or he's going to win this game. Black has serious winning chances here.
No, I think we can all take a little break here. Just taking the fact that Jeffrey, he's had a huge lead ever since he went down 2.5, 1.5. He's been on fire. This game, it's not what you want. Wesley going to feel good, at least.